everybody. Mark with Grimtastic Baits here. Typically, I know you're probably used to seeing a review once a week, mixed up once in a while with a how-to or something stupid. But this week, I ended up getting a new mold, and it's the 1.7-inch Epic Whipwad, 12 cavity. And most of the molds that I review, actually all the molds I have reviewed, I have got hundreds, if not thousands, of baits shot through them, which gives me my strongly opinionated view of the molds that I can give you guys. I am not going to have that kind of experience with this yet, so I am not doing a rating on this. I'm going to give it a first impressions. I think that's fair, and then later on, once I get a lot of baits shot, then I'll come back and I'll actually give it my rating. So anyway, got the Epic Baits 1.7-inch Whipwad. And right off the bat, you guys know me. I wished it had wing nuts. Anyway, this is based kind of off of the, it's a combination. It's based off of the 1.7 prey bait as far as size and the way it shoots. And it's also a downsized version of their Whipwad that comes in much larger versions. So let me show you something. Well, first of all, here's what it looks like. And like I say, it uses the same system as the 1.7. Now, they did change this area up a little bit. I studied a little bit, and they said that they changed it so that it would dent less, like the 1.7, and would fill better and would shoot better, because they even admitted, Marling himself admitted, the 1.7 is the hardest mold to shoot baits out of. That's no lie. You guys have seen my review on it. So what they've done, if you look real close, they have, here, let's do this. There's the 1.7. You see how, sorry about that. You know, I gotta mess up at least once per video. See how it's really rounded in there? What they've done is they've taken it and they brought it more into a triangle shape. And I do think that that helps. Also, the body is a lot fatter than the 1.7, so I can see how it's not going to dent as easily, being such a small bait. So for comparison, this is the new 1.7 Whipwad, tiny little guy, and in comparison, there's the 1.7 prey bait. Now they count the 1.7 when the tail's extended. So if you do that, you can see that they're more on par with being the same size from one another. Singles, right off the bat, I loved it. I was like, wow, check that out. I mean, that's good. I've checked, I have not found any dents in any that I've done. There is no denting issues like on the 1.7 prey bait as there is on this one. This one really does. When you look at dents, and I'm saying specifically dents, it does a great job not denting. However, I have shot this thing several times trying to figure out the tricks. It's maybe easier to shoot than the 1.7 prey bait, they say, but I almost beg to differ. Let me show you why I say that. Those 1.7 singles turned out beautiful. So I thought, okay, I had some extra stuff laying around. I thought, let's shoot a duel with some plastic I had laying around. My first shot, 140 degrees, medium temperature. Sorry if I keep bumping the mic. And here's what I got. Now, in the gun community, that'd be a fail to fire, but that's basically a fail to fill in my opinion. That was 140 dual laminate, and I had trouble filling these things out. Keep in mind, I heated this mold up. I mean, everything was hot because I wanted to, well, you know, nobody likes to waste plastic. So right off the bat, it's like, okay, I did something wrong. So I was like, you know what? Let's go back to the plastic I used for all the demos as far as my ratings. So I went back to my Ronald McDonald colors. So I I shot again using different plastic, thinking maybe it makes a difference. And again, I was thinking, what the heck? This was 150 degrees. I shot it very slow, like the 1.7. The 1.7 you had to shoot really slow. And I was thinking I need to do the same thing with this. But again, we got fail to fires there, fail to fills. So I thought, okay, let's go the other direction. Let's heat this puppy up. Let's crank up the heat. Maybe that's the problem. Cranked up the heat to 270. Oops. I didn't really plan on getting it that hot, but it did. I thought, you know what? I'm going to run with it. 270. Yeah. First of all, it was so hot and that plastic was so thin, I ended up flaying, basically, yeah, just mutilating it. As you can tell, they were not filling again, even though it was extremely hot, and I shot it fast too. I'll admit, I shot it really hot, really fast. I had some that came out okay, but again, no laminate. It's not laminating. So I thought to myself, all right, let's go down in temp and hold some pressure. So I went down to temp, went down to 230 and held a ton of pressure. I mean, I held a ton of pressure. Shot about medium speed, held a ton of pressure. I still got that. Held too much pressure. Again, no bueno. See, this is the thing too. This is why I want wing nut clamps. You can clamp them down, tighten them up, you know you're good. If you're using clamps, all sorts of size clamps, different clamps, they all have different tension, and it just is not the same. Clamping a mold, unless you have an air vise, just does not work the same time and time again with different molds. They really need to put wing nuts on these things. Give us the option, Epic Baits. Anyway, so yeah, it flared out a bit. Didn't do good. I did get fills. It filled all the way. But again, you see what we're missing. It starts the laminate and then it just putters out. So I thought, okay, let's try it again. This time went to 240, did kind of a medium pressure, and I did not hold it. I didn't hold it at all. As soon as I was done feeling it shoot or fill up, I pulled it, said I'm done. Then we end up with this. Like I say, this was about 240, and now we're kind of getting on track with where we need to be. I do love this. This was the main reason I got this mold. I thought to myself, how's this different than a twist tail, really? Why am I paying so much money? It's like $220, $240. I got it on the sale, the 25% off. Otherwise, I wouldn't have touched this with a 10-foot pole just because of the price. But now we're laminating. The thing is when you do a regular twist tail, the colors on the tail all blend. And on this, it stays totally separate. And that was kind of a key to me. I really like that. It's different, it's unique. It's got a different little bit of a body. It tapers. It's got those little Whipwad, you can see it there in the light, those little extra pockets of plastic that actually do give it a little more twist. It's got that little fin. I don't think a fish is really going to care about that, but it gives it a little charisma. But now we're actually getting laminates. But again, they're not perfect by any means. Tails look great. Bodies, just, I don't know. Also, something about this bait too, time and time again, no matter how good you get at it, your top two are going to be throwaways. Unless I figure something out, I'm opening this. I really want to open this up for conversation, this video. I want to see people that have this, not people that have their opinions that don't own the mold. They're like, oh, you should shoot slower, you should do this, you should do that. No, I want people that actually own the mold to tell me or start up a conversation with me what you're doing to try and get these top two to fill properly. I saw another YouTuber that had this early because they kiss butt, I don't, and they had the same problem. They had the exact same problem. Top two, junk. They just don't do what they're supposed to do. So I don't know if I need to slow up, like shoot medium speed and then slow up, and then pop it out and fill the rest of the way. Not sure. So that's where I ended up with these. Then I ran out of my Ronald McDonald color. Shameful, terrible, boo. So I had some more pucks laying around. And what I got then was this. Now I'm starting to catch on. You see, that's not a perfect laminate. The top two are not a perfect laminate. I don't know why. And the further down you go, the better they get. So it's something to do with that first onset of that plastic going in. But now, that is what we're looking for. That's what impresses me. This mold will take some time to learn. It has already taught me that. It's not forgiving. It is not a forgiving mold. If you do anything slightly wrong, it's so small. You got to consider, the smaller the bait, the larger the margin for error. And I think that's what we end up with, like the 1.7 prey bait and this 1.7 Whipwad. However, ton of potential here. Tons. I can't wait to fish this. It's freezing cold out, but we don't have anything frozen. Typically, stuff where I'm at, we don't get froze over. We get cold, we might get an inch or two of ice. I'm not risking it for that. But this screams ice fishing. I want to ice fish this so badly. I think this would be killer. As an example also, I'm just throwing baits everywhere. Here's what it does look like rigged up. That is a teeny tiny jig head. God, can't even hold the thing. But it looks good. I don't think I'm going to go out on a limb and try and find anything that matches a head like I have with the 1.7. I think it's just going to have to stay around jig head unless I get creative and come up with something on my own. But that's what we're looking like. It's a good looking bait. So first impressions, don't like the price. Second, I don't like the learning curve to it. It's going to take some time. And you know what? As soon as I fine tune it and figure out what it is, what the secret is, I will let you guys know when I actually give this mold a fair rating, a fair review, after I've shot hundreds, if not maybe about 1,000 baits through this thing. We'll figure it out though. Again, I'm open to conversation, people that actually own the mold, not the people that think that they know everything about shooting molds and, oh, well, I have one like this that shoots like this. If you don't have this system going on, you don't know what it's like to shoot this mold. Your opinion matters not to me. But anyway, so far, it's a love-hate relationship, just like I had with the 1.7 prey bait. It's a love-hate. Love the bait. So far, hate shooting it. I don't even know if I'm going to end up selling these. If I do, might be just singles. I'm not sure that I even mess with the doubles unless I really get it tuned or fine-tuned. The other thing to think about is, and I'm going to do this also on the rating, the cost of what you lose in this plastic sprue compared to what you actually get for the bait. This actually weighs pretty substantial, but these little guys weigh nothing. So you're going to have a lot of waste. Now, you're going to have less waste because here's the beautiful thing about this. Here, I'm actually going to show you. That, pop that off, that's throwaway. But because you have that bar going in the middle, you do have a way to separate your colors back out to remelt them and shoot them. So that will help. That will save you on your cost of plastic if you're as cheap as I am. I shouldn't say cheap. That sounds bad. Frugal? Sure. If you're as frugal as I am. Always looking to cut that bottom dollar so I can compete against all those guys out there that shoot and sell baits and don't do it legit and pay their 10% excise taxes. If you're one of those guys, just unsubscribe from me now. I hate you guys. You make it impossible for somebody legit making baits to make a profit or try to even stay in business. Get your tax IDs. Do your excise taxes. Be a grown-up. Do the right thing. Do I like giving my money to the government? No. Hell no. Not that extra 10% on top of my sales tax. But I should stop ranting. You know me. I'm going to have to rant at one point during the video. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will get back to you guys on this. I will probably do a review of the little Christmas mold that came with it free if you got it on Black Friday or Cyber Monday. And again, I thank you for watching. Have a great day. Don't subscribe. I'm not your dad. I can't tell you what to do. But I hope you guys are all having a great holiday season, and we'll see you next time.